Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Andrew Hahn here. It is December 17th, Thursday. This is Trade with UFOs Nailing FX US session here on FX Street. Coming to you from Singapore, and good morning to everybody waking up or who's up in the US. And of course, those of you who are in Europe in this final sort of stretch of 2020. Now, let's just spend a couple of seconds on the disclaimers here. Okay, as we go through. And also, as you see scrolling through here, if you do want to join our free membership to get more information on what we do at Trade with UFOs and our apps here, you can just type in there www.tradewithufos.com/Andrew. All right, so let's get cracking here. Our sessions, as usual, on FX Street are listed here. So myself, Opa, Pedro, and Ronaldo. Got one last session from Pedro next week on Tuesday for the year, but we still do have another also last session on the 23rd, and then that's kind of it for the year from us. Okay, so if you do want to schedule in the coming sort of 2021, which we are still putting together, you can go to our full calendar here at, again, tradewithufos.com/live. All right. Just a couple of trigger events for the remainder of the week. The BOJ with their interest rates, which, it's been consistently, minus 0.1. So I don't think people are really expecting too much there. And but we did have, of course, this week the FOMC, which really moved the markets quite a bit, especially the US dollar, and therefore on the opposing side, we had quite a bit of strength continuing on the Aussie, Euro, and the pound, despite some of the, some of that volatility around Brexit on the pound side. And then we also have, weakness in dollar CAD, dollar yen, the crude being higher, looking like it's going to move higher, and also with the yen getting stronger, so moving towards this lower channel, which we'll have a look at. But the dollar in of itself is just been weak and continues to be weak, as we've been seeing here, but it is looking like it's nearing to some sort of support here at 89.75. So with that, let's take a look at the charts here, and starting off again with the dollar, using our Trade with UFOs app here. We can see that it is printing here some buy unfilled orders coming into play around this range here down towards 89.22, 23. So probably expect a little bit more weakness in the dollar here, and therefore predominantly some sort of strength coming up into the euro, so which could be even more, right, coming up to closer to 23.32 sort of area. So we'll see if we can get a pause here. Otherwise we can maybe pull back to retest this buy UFO sort of area here before continuing higher. Well, remains to be seen. But this is all within a weekly sell UFO area. So it's just to kind of note that it could stop at any time and turn at any time. It doesn't have to get up to these areas here. But ideally, if we want to go look to target to close out any long positions, we can target this area here, 123.30, 25, or if we want to go short, we would want to see prices start to turn at this area. So we'll see. We'll see how that kind of plays out. If we do go to some of the lower time frames again, in terms of any sort of resistance heading up to that 23-25 area, there's nothing that the UFOs are showing. So so yeah, we've got potentially a lot more to move in the euro. Okay, so let me just turn those off. Yeah, so as we just look at, if I just scroll through, so I'm just gonna get this bigger picture of things here. This is a 21-day moving average. Essentially, as we just look at the market climate along with where price is above that 21-day moving average, we can see that for all of these markets, it's just buy. It's kind of buy on retracements is really what's going on here. This is the volatility of the pound, right? It did get below that 21-day, as well as kind of print down climates on for a couple of days there, but otherwise, yeah, it's just up, right? Same with say if the dollar CAD, heading lower, but that's also coming into an area of buy UFOs here. We also have dollar Swiss, right? Also similar. So it's kind of kind of a time to see if we get some sort of reversals coming in here. And this is what I was saying before. We've got yen still looking strong in the dollar yen weak in that sort of sense, but with yen strong. And then if we go into the cross pairs, we'd expect similar sort of sentiment with the Aussie pairs, where the bias is more to the buy side rather than the short side at the moment. Just with this continuation and no real evidence of any sort of change in any sort of selling pressure coming in, which we're still waiting to see. And the climate, of course, is still on the upside there. And we're going to see that predominantly for any sort of cross pairs to the Aussie, Aussie Swiss, so Aussie New Zealand, I had a bit of a trend line break there. CAD Swiss has been really sideways. And so here, CAD Yen, more of a look to the buy side. However, we are in this broader range, right? So we have reached this high area. So we can look for potential retracements, right? And with the yen being strong, so it's kind of fighting that CAD strength, right? With the oil. So if we're able to see yen get stronger, then this could be a potential short here. So we'll take a look at that one actually, CAD yen. Just flag that as something for us to take a look at for the short side. So let me just draw an arrow here. Okay, let me just draw an arrow here for us to take a look at. And let me just change that color. All right, just because it's pending. And yeah, so the Swiss yen. So again, it's more buy side upside, but it is looking like we're getting a climate change here. So maybe something also we can consider, and since it's also at the top of the channel, something else to consider to the downside. Euro Aussie, okay, it's kind of testing this area too, right? So so again, if we want to consider something to the long side, Okay, we want to see some sort of change in trend, evidence of some sort of reversal pattern, right? That maybe we're seeing. So if we get a push up to the upside, then that will also help us potentially get a a pullback to some sort of new buy UFO area forming here, and that way we can follow the move higher. We also can just look at maybe potentially some sort of trend line break as well. Okay, but for the moment, still has a little bit of a ways to really prove itself, right? That would prove itself to change to the upside if it can do that. But otherwise, yeah, looking for some sort of reversal. Euro New Zealand has kind of done that a little bit already. It's kind of challenged that 21-day moving average. Climate is starting, is wanting to push higher, right, to the long side. So this is something we can also look at more to the long side. Euro CAD is kind of oscillating. It's kind of in the middle here, so we can kind of skip that for the moment. Here on the Euro Swiss, again, trying to trade that channel here is probably something we could look at. So since it's to the buy side, we can also look at some longs here, maybe on some sort of retracement. And yeah, depending on how you want to see the the pound and the euro, if we're kind of at a point of some sort of weakness in the euro coming in, then that could pull euro down, be kind of lower here. Okay, so we can also take a look at that one on the downside. Okay, so kind of pull back and then head down. And here we're just kind of moving sideways here in the euro yen, so nothing really much to look there. Probably look for some longs on the pound Aussie if we can get a bit of a a pullback and then a move higher for a long, and looking for maybe a clearer trendline break for any moves higher. With this climate heading up long here. Pound CAD clearly strong, so we could probably play that to the upside. Targeting this 74.35 is a possibility. Kind of a range trade, right? Another range trade with pound Swiss. And then we have pound yen. So again, kind of, can we see a little bit of the yen, kind of getting a little stronger here now that we're at this point, right? New Zealand CAD. Okay, maybe looking for some New Zealand weakness potentially. So kind of retest that area up here. But maybe a little bit more New Zealand strength, in all of these New Zealand pairs. May need to kind of figure into things before we look to go short, right? So that's kind of just a broad strokes, right? Yeah, a lot of different things. You could probably flag the whole lot, really. But yeah, if we just quickly go through these cross pairs and what's the climate telling us, right? Long on the Aussie Yen, Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss, Aussie New Zealand. It looks like down on the CAD Swiss, not confirmed. So I'm going to take those off. All right, confirmed down, so more of a bias to the downside here. not confirmed on the euro. Okay, confirmed on the euro CAD. Confirmed up on the euro Swiss. No confirmation on the euro pound. Euro yen long. Euro pound Aussie short. Pound New Zealand, nothing there. We're gonna look at that, we're going to look at that, and then confirm long on the pound Swiss, and then the pound yen was also long, so long on the New Zealand CAD, Swiss, and more than likely yen there. So, but you know, we are a little high up here already, right, in terms of prices. So, so we really just need to wait for pullbacks on some of these if we're looking to expect this this move to continue to the upside. All right. Okay, so let's just take a look at where we are right now, and it'd be kind of worth, right, looking at you know, what do the reversal sort of patterns, you know, what can they look like? So one useful way of you know, understanding, you know, the extremities, you know, can add something like you know, like a Bollinger Band, for example, right? You can throw something on like that and kind of see, well, yeah, what sort of extremes are we at? So that could be one filter that you could use, as well as maybe, you know, some sort of you know, stochastic, right, or RSI, you know, to also give you a sense of, well, how you know, how overbought or oversold are we? And so clearly here we are, you know, been overbought quite a bit for a long time. So this at least gives you a sense, right, of you know, the extremities, and but we're still looking for evidence, right, for going short. So otherwise we've got to stay long. And so, you know, until, you know, so let's say, for example, we have something clear like this, right? We have a like a, you know, double top type of situation. Then that could be something similar, right? So if we look at the where prices changed before, like pivoted, right? These are sort of patterns that we can try and look out for, right? So until we see, right, some sort of maybe some sort of dojis or selling pressure, right? We kind of had a little bit of indication there, but it didn't follow through, right? So we're still just waiting for price to turn. Okay, especially in here, the case of Aussie. I think we're going to have a similar, you know, sort of expectation here on the New Zealand dollar. Same sort of thing on the euro, right? We just had a continuation higher, but at that, you know, here we had a turn, but there was no real follow through to the downside. So prices kind of came back up to that level, challenged that whole area, and then moved higher. Right, so even for pound, you know, yesterday it did have, you know, a little bit of a selling pressure, but not enough, right, to kind of contain pound today. And also with dollar CAD here, right, nothing really showing us that we are having any sort of patterns, right, that indicate a change in direction. Right, so let's look at Aussie Yen here. Again, is there any evidence of any sort of change at these extremities? Not so much. Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss. Just remove that for a moment. Okay, so nothing here at the moment is showing any sort of pattern, right, that indicates a change in direction. All right, so here we had, well, not really an engulfing, but kind of like a drop and a pause and a drop. Okay, so maybe some sort of retracement here. Okay, again, nothing too clear. Yeah, pretty much engulfing pattern there. So not surprised that there was a bit of a downward move here. Nothing on the Aussie, Euro Aussie. Nothing very clear here. On the middle, right? Bit of a double. Nothing here. Guess we do have. We did have, early, maybe late last week, right? Something there. So here, clearly we had a strong push down and some follow through the next couple of days. Just a lot of basing on the Euro Yen. So we had a spike low push up. So this is that, that volatility right around the pound. So it's hard, sometimes it's hard to trade these as well, right? When there's a lot of news-driven type of price action. But if you are, an event-driven sort of person, then this is ideal for you, And so here, definitely on the pound CAD, had quite a good follow-through if you're able to kind of get in on some of these. Right, so if you notice, like all of the pound pairs have this selling or or buying pressure. In this case, buying pressure. Right, some buying pressure there. New Zealand CAD, nothing in terms of patterns, right, for suggesting any sort of reversal, and also nothing there. Yeah, so none of these are really showing any, giving us any strong indication that a reversal is coming, right? So of course, with with a wanting to keep with the trend, these are counter trend trades, which are going to be more riskier, right? Because if the trend perpetuates to the upside, then you're going to be going to be stopped out because you're going against the trend. So we just go back to this, I think CAD Yen. Let's go a little bit deeper into that one. Okay. So as we're challenging, right, this 21-day moving average, we've started to see, it's not a confirmed downtrend or down climate, but there could be some areas right here that may interest us as entry points, right, to the short side. Okay, just highlight that. And so as we go down to the lower levels, right, we may be able to identify a little bit more clearly where there potentially are those areas of entry point, for a continuation lower. Now we did already have, we had a shallow retracement really coming back up here, but we can still have a lower high set in here, but that would still require, right, buyers to kind of come in and then move up to this point before continuing lower. So we'd want to have a little bit more strength of the CAD really versus against the yen in order to make that happen. But yeah, so really the opportunity would have been here on the hourly at this area here. So there was that stronger move down, and then we had this area here, which on the CAD yen would have been an area, where you could have gotten short with that continuation to the downside. So there's nothing really left here at the moment at these areas. But for a pullback, right, then you could play that pullback back up to this area here, and then the larger pullback back up to this higher area up here. Now if we just turn on the auto UFOs, just to kind of give us a bit more confirmation there. Yeah, so here's some new, it's still tested sell UFO areas, and as I highlighted here, there's some sell UFO orders up here still. So so something to consider. CAD yen continuing short, but we still need a bit of pullback. So as price comes into this area here, where there are buy UFOs, all right, right down to that area here, then you could take a trade to the a retracement trade to here first, see if it responds before continuing lower. Otherwise, you could have a second target up to this area up here, 1854 sort of area, right? Okay. So let's see. What else do we have going on here? Let's get back up to the daily. Just turn these UFOs off. All right. So this is something we'll go short on. Aussie, Swiss. Let me just take these tags off here first. Euro, Aussie, yeah. Okay, again, yeah, let's just, it's more something to watch there. Euro, Swiss. Okay, so here we have something maybe on the long side that could be of interest. So again, some of the areas that we'd be interested in would be around here. Let's see what the UFOs help us look at. It's more broadly here. Okay, we had some retesting already done here at these lower time frames. A bit of a target up the top here. Down to the 1 hour. See if we've got any opportunities here. So the only opportunity to get in and join in on the way out would be back down at this area here. 8140, 81415, I think it is. And again, targeting 10851. Okay, and that will go with that move to the upside, which would be good. All right. Okay, and what else do we have here? Euro yen. Let's go back up to the. I think we may have something here. Okay, yeah, we're just kind of this. Yeah, it's kind of moving sideways here, so we're not really interested until up to here. So we'll just wait for that one. Pound CAD. I think similar to what I was saying earlier. Just wait for some sort of pullbacks to these areas. Right. It's kind of choppy, but sometimes if you really like the opportunity, then you just take a lower position size, right? And always have to go full size in your trading. Okay. And then this pound, yeah, pound CAD, sorry, pound yen. We're not really seeing any clear areas of selling as of yet, but again, we'll need to, we can just keep a watch out of that one, and then we can have any others that we were looking to get into, or since we're we're kind of at these high levels, right? And so even though for a continuation higher, that's your bias. You also understand that, look, you have moved quite a bit already, right? Have improved quite a bit already. Can we move higher? Yes, we can. Towards these sort of other highs here. But yeah, you can't. Can you expect to go higher? Well, I guess you could just trail your stops. Would be one way to manage that, right? And that's how you could take advantage, right, of some of these opportunities here. Okay, so let's just see what the dollar is doing. So on the daily, let's just work this one. Look at our order UFOs on the daily. Okay, it's kind of touching almost right there. So a little bit more weakness in the dollar, but hang on, there's a delayed feed, so let's see what is going on the a little bit more of the live feed. Yeah, still a little bit more to go on that. So let's see if we get that done today, which I hope should be able to, right? You should be able to punch a little lower, and it's got yeah, today, tomorrow to do it. So yeah, next week we could see further weakness, just kind of start off the new week, clear the deck for the following week. But we're almost there, right? We're almost there. It's just, what is that last push, right, to get things into this area where there is a high concentration of buy orders, right? And there's no reversal pattern here, So so it's tough to. You just got to be patient. And it's yeah. Nobody likes to be patient. I don't always like to be patient either, but it's the end of the year. Everything's a lot slower. People are on holidays, or well, I guess everybody has been predominantly at home, or not really being able to get out, but because of COVID and stuff. But yeah, official sort of trading is probably maybe winding down. So not as many people around, I should say, to watch markets. Everyone wants to have a bit of a break. So if we do have moves to the upside, let's just go back to high time frame. You're not really seeing any resistance until up here, right? No resistance until up there. And okay, the lower time frames, a little bit of resistance coming through here. That color there. And just kind of double checking the smaller time frames to see if there's any interesting price action, but not really. Okay, so nothing. Yeah, it's no real opportunities going on here. Okay, it's kind of top of channel. I'm get a sense of where the top of channel is. All right, heading back up there. So the dollar is heading lower. Let's just see. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the Aussie at the moment. So we are getting a little bit of selling coming in the last 4 hours. Let's go down to the hourly. Now we can look at this whole move here. This. Just do this. All right. This kind of just gives us a sense of where those retracement areas are. Let's turn on the Tradewithufos here for a minute. Yeah, so this one here aligns with the 38. And then we have, yeah, it's kind of a little bit big there for the 61. But then, yeah, we can come all the way back down here to the 78. All right. And so on the Aussie, yeah, let's see if we can get some sort of retracement back down here to this area for any sort of continuation long, right? And or that's going to change to move lower here, right? If these kind of areas, right, break and start to put in a lower high even, then that could be a change in direction. But if kind of look at here, prior resistance becoming support, it's more likely this area 70, 75, 80 becomes more of a support area, right? Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of what I have for today's session. Just to go back over maybe just some of the resources that are available to you from us at Trade with UFOs. You are able to go to Trade with UFO/Andrew, and as you can see, just put your name, email, tell us you're not a robot, and then sign up for free membership. Okay, we will give you more, emails about what's been going on here. Okay, and for the calendar, just click live. Okay, and then it'll just show you, what's on and when. We do have other asset classes that we look at, such as options, right? We do have lectures, as you can see here, which you can do it at your own pace. Okay, so if you're interested in those, you can click there. But otherwise, we have future sessions, we do have option sessions, so they are a different number of different things that go on there. As you can see here, we've got, that's a button there. I haven't scheduled anything yet for January or really for February in the coming years, in the new year, but we are getting close to putting stuff together. Okay, so yes, become a free member forever. All right. Okay, that's kind of all that I have for the moment. So if you do, if you do have any other questions you want to ask, you can also email me at andrew@predictive.com, and I'm happy to answer any queries or questions that you may have. Okay, so with that, hey, I think that's really it from me for the year. For those of you who joined our sessions throughout the year, hey, thanks very, very much. And again, do join for the free membership to get our emails, newsletters, and stuff like that. But otherwise, happy, have a good holiday season with family. It's been a tough, long year, I think, for most, and we look forward to seeing you again in future sessions. Okay? All right, with that, take care, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.